guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to the video, and have I got a special one for you today. This is, in my opinion, probably the cleanest EP3 in the country. A shout out to Adrian for building this, shout out to Motion Motorsport for doing loads of the work, but basically, yeah, this is sort of like a walk round, sort of talk about an appreciation of what I consider to be the cleanest EP3 in the country. Let's get into it. I'll walk you through some of the specs and stuff, and yeah, we'll go from there. So we'll start at the front with the wheel, tyre and brake setup. So the brakes are yellow speed 6-pot, that's obviously the kit. And then it's got some PBS pads at the front and then also PBS in the rear with some Team Dynamics 1.2s. I had these on the front of mine for a little bit. The tyres on this are some Yokohama AO48s, and it's like a track tyre more than a street tyre really, so the track boys are probably running this. And then it's got an upper click, front lip, some aero hood latches, but around the front it's basically standard. This car is kind of like a track sort of street mesh really, so there's no crazy carbon. Like, it's quite subtle in terms of body modifications, but then some aero obviously with the front lip and stuff. So that sort of covers the front because there's not too much to talk about. So as you make your way around from the back, you got the carbon B pillars on the side. Again, side's nothing crazy. And then around the back also we have the carbon plinth across the badge area here. Super simple, not even a Mugen wing on this, just all basically OEM. The exhaust system, solid fab catback system with a 41 manifold from Tegawa. Yeah, that's basically it around the back. I'll show you in the boot now. So in the back here, I mean, this is crazy. The attention to detail here is nuts. So it's been fully stripped back and painted Milano red inside. It's got a false floor hiding the amp. We've got a JL subwoofer here. We've got this GC Fab X-brace and then a Safety Devices 6-point bolt-in cage. All powder coated white as well, so it looks really nice. Really offsets nicely against the red. Yeah, this thing's basically had everything touched. So as obviously you can see. So from here, we might as well talk about the rest of the interior. So let's jump in there. So in here, pretty major difference. Quite a few similarities to mine. Got this carbon dipped center console, got the carbon dipped clocks around, and then actually all the panels around the car are all hydro dipped as well, which I haven't seen done before, like the full thing, not just the switches. In terms of steering wheel, we've got a personal steering wheel here in suede. This feels amazing, and it's got an NRG quick release system on it as well. There's the JDM coin holder, which is always a fun little upgrade. There's a pop and bang switch, which in that location makes it look like a fighter jet. It's pretty cool. The hybrid racing shifter with hybrid racing shift knob, that's a really nice upgrade. In terms of seats, we've got these micro GTs, and these have got some TRS harnesses mounted to those as well. So it's a pretty aggressive setup for day-to-day use, but definitely fits in with the track street sort of aesthetic. It's also got some Mugen pedals similar to my car as well. So, and this has also got the JDM like coin mat thing, like insert bit that I want to get for mine. But apart from that, that's basically it in here. So we might as well talk about the engine. And this is obviously the crown jewel of this car really, apart from the underside, but we'll get onto that later. So in here, we've got a K20A2 with about 47,000 miles on the clock. Bolted onto that, these stunning Titan ITBs with carbon fiber trumpets. They look so good, and obviously sounds insane as well. There's a K-Tune fuel rail with fuel pressure gauge, hybrid racing shifter, cables, K-Tune dipstick and oil cap. It's got a Mocal oil control system, catch can and everything here as well, which I haven't seen on a car before. Carbon fiber fuse box cover, exactly the same as my one. It's got various red dress-up bolts from Tegawa and other brands. It's got a Tegawa alloy radiator. In terms of gearbox modifications, this has got a M Factory Race Pack Stage 1 diff in it. It's also got a 5.4 ratio gearbox with carbon synchros. So yeah, pretty well set up on that part as well. So this has also got the TDI Ultimate drop-in cams and some 410cc RDX injectors, the OEM Honda ones, which basically makes this car run about 270-ish brake horsepower. The engine's also got a baffled sump. In terms of bracing, we've got the Ultra Racing strut tower brace here, and the engine is in with some innovative racing mounts. Basically everything that can be done has been done in this engine bay really. So I think the next thing is to take it out for a drive. Right then guys, so we're following Haas in another EP3. Oh, these tyres are definitely grippy. You can hear them throwing up all those stones. So it's going to beep the seatbelt sensor because obviously you got this harness on. Until today I'd never even driven a mapped EP3, let alone a mapped EP3 with cams and with the ITBs. It sounds insane. That was 5,000 RPM. It's so weird driving another EP3 because it is so familiar yet so different. Like this has got a windshield banner which mine doesn't have, obviously the cage. Whoa, that shift light is so cool. following Haas in this earlier on, and it was spitting big flames out of it and stuff. It looked insane. It just feels really solid, but not like an uncomfortable solid. It's quite hard to explain, but it's so responsive. Yeah, this hybrid racing shifter is incredible. This just makes me realise how much my car needs a map. Even just the fact that just the throttle, I know obviously the throttle response is even crazier with this ITB setup, but just that instant throttle response is something I didn't really realise I was lacking. It's not crazy bad in mine, but compared to this, it's night and day difference. These seats are really comfortable as well, they really hug you. I guess they do look quite race ready, but I don't feel like I'm in like a full-on bucket seat. It does have quite a high idle, which I guess is down to the ITBs. Oh, down it comes. Yeah, I've never driven a car with ITBs on it, so this is pretty different. Yeah, it revs quite high. It's currently just like 1900 RPM for idle. You can just tell that it's been really well put together. You can hear the rattles, but I mean, this car is made out of plastic on the inside, really, let's be honest. I guess that's also to do with the engine mounts and everything. It vibrates slightly more than mine does. I can feel more through the steering wheel than I do with mine. The seating position is actually lower than the standard. Well, it's lower than mine. I can only assume mine still does sort of sit at the standard height. I definitely feel like I can't see as much over the nose with this though. It's not a bad thing at all. I think what's quite cool about this is it flies quite under the radar from the outside, so it's like subtle, looks standard, and then you look a little bit closer and then you see the cage, and then you see the big brake kit and things like that. Even just like little turns, even in this lane, you can tell that it's just screaming to just go around corners. I did forget to mention as well, this is a Premier Edition. Not that there's that much left to show that it's a Premier Edition. I guess my car is kind of halfway between this and a standard car really, so there's quite a few things that feel similar in terms of the suspension setup and what have you, because obviously this was a Motion Motorsport car as well. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what this is like coming from a standard EP3, because I guess the margin of difference isn't as great for me because of how much mine's set up like already, if that makes sense. But even compared to mine, it feels even more dialed in. Alright, here we go. Oh, that fuel. Oh my God. That sounds insane. Oh my God. No words. That sounds ridiculous. Oh my God! Under that bridge just sounded ridiculous. I hope you could hear that because I didn't want there to be too much wind noise. It's so responsive as well. Right, let's try a second gear. Roll onto it, let's go. Oh my God. I can't believe how good this sounds. shifter as well. Just everything just adds together to be just an insane concoction of absolute madness. Just everything is just so dialed in. The driver experience is just unbelievable. Let's check these brakes. Woo! Oh, the handling. Fuel light is on. Alright guys, so just pulled over for some fuel, but we'll cut from this to checking out the underside of this thing, because that is one area that you don't usually see, and trust me, it's worth seeing the underside of this, and we'll talk about the suspension and what have you. So we're underneath the car, guys, and as you can see, it has had a nut and bolt restoration under here and then fully painted. There's so much stuff that's happened here. I've actually just got a list of it on my phone because it's going to be way easier to explain it, so I'll just list off some of the stuff. It's got an Area Motorsport track spec yellow speed coilovers. It's got roll center adjusters, full Super Pro polybush kit, the front JDM roll bar. It's got a Progress rear anti-roll bar, and it's also got the brace across the back is different to my Progress one, where it's got like a welded plate on, so you can jack the car up from that. I think that's a really cool idea. I haven't seen that before. We've got Tegawa subframe collars, we've got Tegawa rear camber arms, hard race rear lower control arms in gold. Those look pretty cool. Tegawa shorter steering arms, and it's got some Miele HD front and rear drop links. Motion Motorsport geometry setup like I've got on mine. Yeah, all suspension components have been powder coated and zinc plated. Literally everything under here, bolts, brackets, everything has been done. It's also got that ultra racing strut brace in the engine bay, and then yeah, like I said, it's been fully repainted under here. Pretty crazy list of stuff, and that is just the underside of this car. This just shows to you that this is like another level of EP3. All right then guys, that is this car. Hopefully I've done it justice. Hopefully you've got an idea of the crazy spec on this. It's been insane driving it, and as you can see, Adrian put some serious money and time into this car. It is a very impressive EP3. Big shout out to Haas Garage EP3. I've obviously had loads of parts from here over these last few years, so definitely check them out if you need anything doing with your EP3. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've never done a video like this, so let me know down below if you think I should do more of these sort of things. Let me know what you think of the car, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.